This is the Marvel Legends series, Marvel celebrating 85 years. Hulkbuster. Man, this thing is huge. It is absolutely massive. Looking forward to actually getting this figure. I didn't think it was going to be this heavy. I picked up this figure from Amazon.com, and because I picked it up at Amazon.com, we will have our usual, as per usual, dents on the box because Amazon doesn't wrap their parcels, or they didn't even put bubble wrap or air pockets, air bubbles in their packaging. Nothing to prevent the packaging from getting damaged and dented. It is a shame. Look at that ugly dent. I mean, come on, Amazon. But at least the figure sort of looks okay in packaging. Let's get this bad boy out of the box. And here is the Hulkbuster out of the box, and holy heck, you guys, we are looking at one of the best Marvel Legends figure, one of the best huge, oversized Marvel Legends figures to date. Everything about this figure is near absolute perfect to the execution. The plastic quality is great. The colors are great. The aesthetic, the look and feel of this figure, harkening back to the old Marvel Universe figure that was, it was like over a decade ago. I am overwhelmed and just very, very much impressed with the way this thing came out. When it was first revealed, I was expecting it to just be a basic brick, like how that Veronica armor from, not Veronica, the Hulkbuster, yeah, Veronica Hulkbuster from MCU. I thought it was going to be something like that, but actually this thing is so much better. It's like Hasbro has perfected their skills in manufacturing big figures for the Marvel Legends line. The details are incredible. The color, the way they molded the plastic. They didn't have to paint a lot of the plastic, and it came out great. Articulation is fantastic. There's a bunch of detail in every inch of this figure. And on top of that, it isn't just a display piece, it's actually very playable. Let's take a closer look at the details of this new Marvel Legends Hulkbuster. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 24 centimeters tall, or about 9.5 inches tall. So here are the parts that came with this set. You've got the actual body of the Hulkbuster. The head is removable. Now, unfortunately, on my head, on this copy of the figure that I have, the head sculpt is beautifully painted. I mean, the eyes, the face, silver here and there. The plastic, I mean, it feels like it's tempered chocolate. That's how good this thing is. But unfortunately, on my copy of the figure, there's a little bit of scratching here on the faceplate. It's not, I don't think it's the assembler's fault. The thing is, as I showed earlier in the video, the box was banged up. And when the box got hit on the upper right-hand corner, the clamshell had been crushed in this head area. I mean, the head probably pushed, and the clamshell was really cracked, and it had jagged edges, and the clamshell I felt was scratching the faceplate as the box was being shipped. So it's still Hasbro's fault for making a less than sturdy clamshell that didn't stand the test of being shipped. But you know, also Amazon's fault for not wrapping it up. But even if they wrapped it, the figure's weight is just tremendous. It is immense. We'll go bust out a scale later to tell you how heavy it is, but the sheer amount of mass and weight broke that clamshell and caused this scratching. So let me know if you guys got yours shipped with a cracked clamshell, and if this was the same effect. Or maybe it's just an isolated case for me, but it's a shame. So the head is replaceable. You also get a Tony Stark head, and the Tony Stark is molded beautifully. If you're wondering how it fares with a regular Iron Man figure, nope, it is way too big in scale. This is a shock, actually. I thought Marvel Legends had already nailed the scale of their figures, but not in scale. I thought it was just because of the armor, bits of the armor on the underside of the head sculpt, but no, even look at the distance of the eyes, the nose. It really feels like this is a 7-inch scale head sculpt compared to this one. This is probably a 1/10 scale. This is a 1/12 scale. So you can replace the armored head sculpt with the unmasked Tony head sculpt. And if you wanted to know the scale of this figure, here he is with the 85th anniversary Wolverine and retro carded Model 20 Iron Man. I thought the scale was great, despite being a little off. If you don't use the head sculpt, I really think it's a good enough scale. For this is a regular sized Iron Man armor with the oversized Hulkbuster armor. And like I said earlier, some assembly is required. These thrusters are also removable. They peg in this way, although the pegs are somewhat different. This one is skewed upwards. This one is skewed to the right or to the left. And you gotta peg them this way. There's only so that you don't interchange them, I guess. I don't know. There's only one. This is the proper way to connect them. So the one with the peg slanting up, I guess, pegs on the left and on the other one on the right. So it doesn't stay that well though. But yeah, this kind of plastic just brings joy to me because it is very, very premium, super hard. Now even the soft bits here, they still feel premium. They have a nice high gloss. The plastic, most of the plastic bits on this figure is very, very solid. It's like you're having a Hulk figure and not an Iron Man figure. On my copy of the figure though, there's a little bit of looseness here. It's not so much as looseness because the joint is very tight. The ratcheting ball joint on the torso, but it does have that wiggle. The thigh swivels on my copy of the figure are a little loose, particularly the left leg. I think this is, I don't know if it's about to fall off, but it does feel a little bit loose compared to this one. Knee joints, elbow joints, bicep swivels are super tight. The hands, very tight. Ankle, rocker tilt, very, very tight. Double hinge, pinless knees, and even the elbow joints, they're pretty tight. I just wish they had made double hinged elbows, but I probably because of the sculpt that wasn't possible. But you've got a swivel here on the bicep and you've got a swivel here on the elbow, which is kind of redundant, but it's okay. Extra articulation is always fun. Upper torso is on a ball joint and you get a waist swivel. So that's incredible. The hips are on ball joints. They're not drop down though, but they do allow for a great range of motion. And look at the backside, even the backside. I mean, you don't really see this part when you display him, but they've paid so much attention to detail that they decided to sculpt even the covered pieces. I mean, this is gonna cover it up, but this is really bordering on masterpiece level for a mainline figure. So every inch, nook and cranny of this figure has details. And look at this. I don't think it's painted. I think it's molded silver plastic, but still it looks like it's painted. You got some molding here, some paint here, even here, like I mentioned, this is covered up, but some people like to display it without the armor, so that's okay. They got some nice little paint and dimples here on the shins. The knees are molded in this gold plastic that has marbling that you don't really need to paint. There's some gold paint here, and there, of course. But this major gold section right here and here, they're unpainted. It's paint here. And overall, the plastic quality, whether it's the hard plastic or the soft plastic, they have such a high gloss. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is unreal. I did not expect Hasbro to really just really invest and make this a premium figure. Now let's go ahead and assemble the armor. It's like if you remember in the 80s, the Masters of the Universe figures, they had the armor removable like Clawful or Jitsu or Fisto, and it kind of works that way. If you grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. So it's a snap-on type of assembly. Easy peasy. You can still remove it if you want to. If you want to put it back in the box. But this is how I'm guessing most collectors are going to display him. With the armor on, the neck is going to have a little bit of difficulty moving, but you can move him. It's a double ball joint. It's like a dumbbell barbell ball joint, so you can move him here. You can do the, you can do some sideward motion. You look 360. So yeah, very cool. Despite having the armor, the neck is very, very flexible. He just can't look up, but with this kind of armor, I don't think he looks up. Okay, so he does come with a pair of extra hands. This is what he came assembled with, the gripping hands, and then he's got the fists. Not entirely sure why they chose this, but my guess is this is how you want to display him when he's grappling with the Hulk. If you had a Hulk figure, which I don't have, you can easily display him and you'll have this, because he's not going to hold a gun or anything like that. Although I wish they could have given him one of the hands as a repulsor blast, and like an extra hand. Doesn't have to be left and right, could be just the left or the right, like an open splayed out hand, so he could be blasting, have a repulsor blast. That would have been nice. The fists are not painted. They don't need paint though, but again, glossy, high gloss finish for these, the plastic they used for the fists. So everything about the figure, just gorgeous. And I didn't think it was gonna be this great. I kind of regretted pre-ordering this figure. It was too late to cancel the pre-order, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm just gonna flip this. Maybe I still will, but right now, kind of thinking I want to keep it on the shelf for a while because it's just so massive. It is an imposing piece on any Marvel Legends collection. So to find out how much this Hulkbuster weighs, we've got our trusty scale. I think it's set in kilos. So he's about 758 grams, so 0.76 kilos. 758 grams, that's about 1.5 pounds. Is my math correct? It's about 1.5 pounds or something like that. So very, very hefty. And so some final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Hulkbuster. This figure came out better than I anticipated. I actually thought this is one of the best Marvel Legends figures for this year, especially for an oversized figure. I think the Hasbro team did a tremendous job with this figure. Probably in terms of articulation, the only thing missing are toe articulation and maybe a double pinless elbow joint. But other than that, I thought this was a perfect Hulkbuster. I think this is more enjoyable than the MCU Hulkbuster, and given the size and accuracy to detail of this figure, the amount of detail they put on the sculpting, on the joints, even in the covered places, this is like a masterpiece Marvel Legends figure. I just can't believe how good this thing is. And I was a big fan of that Marvel Universe figure. If you remember that old Marvel Universe figure that was something like this, I'm pretty sure I have it. Still have the review on my channel, Chefatron. If not, the old FX France channel. That was a very, very good looking figure. And for them to migrate that figure into the 1/12th scale, or in this case, maybe 1/10th scale, I thought that was a tremendous job on the part of the designers. Very, very well executed. I kind of wish they could have made the packaging better. Maybe they could have used stiffer clamshell that would have prevented the scratching on the face. But other than that, this is a near perfect figure. I don't think a 9.5 will justify it, but because of this minor nitpicks I have on this figure deserves a 9.9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this Marvel Legends series, Marvel's 85th anniversary Hulkbuster. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.